This one is a wire-wound fixed resistor with a variable sleeve here. Now, it's made of wire very similar to the wire that we used in the demonstration earlier. By moving this sleeve, we can change the length of the wire, say from this contact to this one, thereby changing the amount of resistance. Let me slide the sleeve. As I slide the sleeve down, I increase the length of the wire, which means that I have changed the resistance from this terminal to this one. So by moving this, we would have a variable resistor, wire-wound. Another type of wire-wound resistor has fixed taps. Now, in this case, you would select different taps, thereby changing the length of the wire that you're using, changing the resistance. So in this case, you could have several different resistances from one resistor. Another common type of wire-wound resistor is a variable wire-wound resistor. Now, the wire is here in this semicircle, and it's a fixed resistance from this tap to this tap. The variable part of the resistor is provided by this contact. For example, if I move the contact to here, I've increased the length of the material that I'm using from the contact to this terminal. Therefore, I've changed the resistance. When I move the contact, I change the length of the wire, change resistance. So a variable wire-wound resistor. Again, you can select several different values of resistances from one resistor. Another common type of variable resistor is this one. Now, it's made of a carbon compound. Now, it's very difficult to see the carbon compound, but it's down in here. It's a carbon disc. But again, by using this little contact right here, and by changing that contact, we change the length of the material being used, thereby changing resistance. A variable carbon resistor. Probably the most common resistor is this one, a fixed carbon resistor. Now, I've cut it in half so that you can see the carbon compound inside. This carbon rod has a fixed resistance. It's made of carbon, materials such as rubber, talc, things like that. Probably the most common type of resistor used. The carbon fixed resistor. Okay, length, diameter, temperature coefficient, the combination of the materials used to make up these devices all determine resistance. Now, there are all types of resistors. They come in a variety of shapes, sizes, but they're all designed to do a specific job. One example is the volume control in this radio. It's a variable carbon resistor. As the shaft is rotated, resistance changes, which changes the volume.
Hello, Miss Mills, Atlanta?
Now, if we looked at some more equipment, we'd find a variety of other resistors. For example, here is a variable carbon resistor. It's used to change the voltage or the current, as the case may be. Looking on down, we'd find a variety of resistors. Resistors required to make tubes work, to make transistors work, all kinds of resistors, a maze that are essential to the operation of the electronic components. Looks complicated, doesn't it? Well, it isn't complicated. In the next lesson, we'll start to solve this maze by discussing circuit components and their symbols. I'll see you then.